Welcome to From Blueprint to Beautiful, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of home remodeling. I'm Heather Francis, and with my husband, Michael Francis, we own and operate Francis Renovations. We've spent years helping homeowners turn their renovation dreams into reality. Whether you're planning your next big project, love a good before and after, or just want to avoid common renovation pitfalls, you're in the right place. So grab a coffee or a hammer, and let's dive in. Welcome to From Blueprint to Beautiful, the podcast where we take the stress out of home renovations and bring you straight talk about creating a home you'll love. I'm Heather Francis. I'm here with my husband, Michael Francis. We're with Francis Renovations, and today we're diving into one of the most important decisions you'll make when remodeling: how to pick the right contractor.
Just call us. It's that easy.
It's that easy. We've all heard horror stories of jobs left unfinished, budgets blown out of the water, or contractors who disappear altogether. We want to make sure you are working with someone who's reliable, skilled, and the right fit for your project. So that's what we're going to break down a little bit today.
A little bit.
A little bit. It's kind of a big topic.
It's a big topic. It's
subjective.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just start at the basics. You want to get a project done. Where do you start looking for a contractor?
After 30 years and us going through several iterations of the company and figuring out what works best for the clients, I would be looking for a design build firm. Mm-hmm. And we're in an area that is inundated with design build firms, which is great because personalities work with other personalities and not with other personalities. So, but that's what I would personally do. Does it work for everybody? No. Some people want to be their own general contractors, and then that person is looking for specific trades.
Yeah.
And that's one way to go about it. But even with the specific trades, you're going to want to find the right contractors that are suiting your needs. And there is a whole process that goes through, you're going to go through to do that.
In your example, you want to use a design build firm, which is what we are, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Where would you start looking for a reputable contractor? Like, what would be your first step?
My first step would be talking to my neighbors or anybody as closest to us that has had work done.
Yeah.
Who did you use? What did you like? What didn't you like?
Yes.
Then I would go to local Facebook groups or Instagram, whatever, and ask those groups, hey, who else is in this area? I've got this name and this name. A lot of areas will have email lists that you can go through.
Yeah.
And then you go through the interview process.
Yeah.
But that's like, I would look at my neighbors first, and then...
Neighbors first, yeah. You have to be really careful with social media because you and I were on Facebook yesterday, and you saw someone who was recommended, and under the guise of my family used this contractor and had a great experience with them,
and it was a family member that.
Well,
posted,
it was the wife.
Yeah, it was the wife that posted the. Yeah.
So you have to be careful in social media.
Yes, but if it's a closed group. And they're not allowed to post things like that, like a community group where that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Like you can't self-promote and things like that.
Yeah.
And like, yes, that can still happen, but it's a little less likely to happen.
That makes me so angry.
Well,
I don't like it when people misrepresent themselves.
Yes.
It's the misrepresentation that bothers me.
Yes.
I think promote yourself, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't like the...
No, I agree.
Sorry, my little tangent. Once you have those names, what would you do next?
You reach out to them. So most contractors will, like, if you call, you can leave a message.
I mean...
really.
Is that how a phone works?
Is that... Well, you're asking, like, what are the next steps? Well, you call.
I mean, like, what are we... Jesus,
you
way
call,
to be literal.
You email, you text.
No, so you reach out to them, but also, like, you can look at Google reviews, and you can, like, there's other things that you can do to vet, a contractor.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to, you can look at Google reviews. You can go on the Better Business Bureau and see if there's any, just Google their name.
Just Google their name.
And see what else is out there.
Yeah.
And that's probably the easiest way to see, what's this person about?
Yes.
What's this company about?
Yeah. You're talking to this contractor. Somebody reaches out to us.
Yeah.
We've had some people that have done shockingly little research on us and have moved forward with us just based on their interaction with you, you're very good. You're very easy to get along with. So it's not,
Well,
and like,
I'm a little more direct.
you're very
Like,
direct.
I try not to beat around the bush because there's things that just have to be said. Like, we openly communicate everything. Like, I had to tell a client the other day that I felt like a complete asshole. So we openly communicate everything.
Yeah.
But with that open communication and that directness, there's a level of comfort. You know what you're getting. I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah. But if somebody wanted to check up on us more, they could ask for references.
Oh yeah, our clients love to meet prospects.
It's funny because like we direct people back to our website a lot because there's galleries of work, and I think that a website does say something about a company, just because, especially one that's been in business as long as we have. I think that it's important, and there's been a number of times that we've talked to people about being a contractor, and when we give them our web address, they're like, "Oh, so you're like a legit contractor."
Why wouldn't you have done that research first?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off on a total tangent. Like, this has nothing to do with picking a contractor. We're just self-promoting right now.
Listen, it's our podcast. We can do that. We can do that.
This is true.
Okay, fine. All right. So they can ask for references. What are some other questions that they should ask to help them understand a particular contractor's process, or if they would be a good fit? They should understand budget expectations up front.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to discuss budget as soon as possible because, if the contractor is thinking $300,000 and you're thinking $50,000, it's not going to work. And we run into that a lot.
Yeah.
Just the sheer cost to do a project right, to be able to warranty it and do it in a manner that you can stand behind it's costly.
It is.
You need to make sure, like, when you ask that budget number, that's also finding out if the contractor knows their numbers and is comfortable,
Yeah.
in that aspect, financial aspect of the project. What else?
You want to understand their communication. What is their communication, right? You want to understand how the contract is going to read. You want to make sure there's going to be a contract.
But we still haven't covered how do you pick out a contractor.
But I think some of this goes into it, right? Like all of these things, because say we come to the door and we know what we bring. We bring JobTread. We have like a way to communicate daily with people. We have a fixed price contract. We have the design development process.
But what we bring to the table isn't what everybody needs. Like, we're the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Like, so we're an Audi, and then there's a Yugo company.
Yugo.
Like we're the Audi, and somebody else is a Yugo. I mean, it's the easiest way to say it. Or we are,
we're Bentley.
The Capital. We're like a Capital Grill. A great steakhouse. Or we're like Woodlock. A luxury resort.
Yeah.
Where somebody else is, like, other companies are McDonald's or the massage parlor down the street. There is a difference in contractors. We know what we bring to the table. We know how to charge for it, which works for our clients. But it is. There's a difference. We know what we bring to the table. We know how to charge for it.
But how do people know what they're going to work best with?
It's what's important to them. Like, the client's going to know what's important to them. Is it budget? Is it being comfortable with the contractor? Is it the warranty of the product? Like, it's what's important to that client is what makes the contractor work for them.
Yeah.
So a lot of clients, it's budget. Budget's their most important thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I'm telling you your bathroom is $70,000 and you want to spend $30,000, it's not going to work. You got to find a contractor that's going to tell you your bathroom's going to be $30,000, and chances are you're going to end up somewhere around 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Because it just costs what it costs.
It just costs what it costs.
Yep. But they're selling that lower price to get their foot in the door, and then as the change orders come in because they didn't put in for this and they didn't put in for that and they didn't put in for that, your price goes up.
So there's budget is, I would agree, budget is one of the most important things.
Budget's the probably number one thing that people decide on their contractors with, and the other is trust.
What do you, and because the conversation that you have with people when you have a consultation call, I often hear you say, you need to go with your gut.
Yeah.
Like, we follow the same advice with clients. But you often say, like, go with your gut.
Yeah. You have to listen to your gut.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes that gut instinct is going to be a more expensive contractor.
Yes.
But you trust them. You know they're going to do a great job for you. At the end of the day, that's more important.
Accurate. That's accurate. So they have a good feeling about somebody. They want to move forward with them. Their budget ideas line up. Before construction starts, understanding what the project is going to actually cost is like super important. So we come to that number by our design and development process.
Yes.
But not everyone does that, as we've talked about.
Yep.
So what is a way that listeners can make sure they're understanding what is actually included in the price that they agree to pay?
So we do a scope of work, which is literally lists everything from project management, site protection, dumpsters, like I'll put in the number of dumpsters I have in for, all the way down to post-construction cleaning. And whether there is cost associated with each line item or each phase of that,
Yeah.
or it's one lump sum, as long as you have that scope of work and you know what the contractor's including and not including, it's a solid contract. If they give you bathroom renovation, $50,000, you have no idea what's included in that.
You have no idea.
Like every single thing can be an extra.
Yes.
You know, oh, no, I put in for LVP flooring, but you were anticipating tile the whole time.
Yeah.
So a detailed scope of work is hugely important.
Yes.
Whether it's a truck in a truck or a design build company, you got to have a detailed scope of work.
Yes. And a detailed estimate.
Well,
Ideally. I guess the scope of work, right?
As long as you have a scope of work, because it's like sometimes it'll be a lump sum. Like contractors do a lump sum. It's $50,000, but this is what we're doing. You need the scope of work.
Yeah.
Like who cares if it's, $10,000 in plumbing and $2,000 in flooring, and it's at the end of the day, as long as that number balances out, it doesn't matter whether it's a lump sum or a detailed cost breakdown.
I know what I would say to this one. But what are some red flags? A construction contract is important. You have to have an agreement.
Yes.
Even for the smaller jobs, you have to have you have to understand exactly what you're getting into, and there has to be clear expectation on both parties. What are some red flags that you would identify in one of those agreements?
Red flags in an agreement. I don't know.
So
What would you say?
I'll answer this one then.
Yeah.
I would say no payment schedule.
No payments. Yeah. Well.
No payment schedule. Loose timelines. Our payment schedule is based on our anticipated timeline. So the two correspond.
Yeah.
Like we know how long particular projects are going to take.
But it's important for us to get in and out of people's houses and disrupt their lives as little as possible. So it's like a tight schedule is important.
But if somebody's telling you, it might take 4 weeks and it might take 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that those are the two things that I would say are really, really important in a construction agreement. There's all the legal stuff. Like we have a lot of stuff in our agreement, just creating expectation. But those are the two things that I would identify.
That's important with, one of the important things of picking out a contractor is an expectation. Are they going to be clean? Is my family safe to be around them? Is like, what can you expect with this contractor?
Yeah.
That's
right. You probably want to understand what their vetting process is for subcontractors, because you're going to have people in and out of your house. Like our subcontractors we worked with for years. Yeah. Like we have a very good relationship with them. Yeah. Okay. Common pitfalls.
That low cost up front.
The low cost.
The low cost up front is always, like we were just talking about it a minute ago, like, I can do your bathroom for $30,000. I don't know what that guy's talking about, $50,000, $60,000. There's no way.
Yeah.
But the $50,000, $60,000 guy already went through. They know that they're going to have to upgrade your panel. They know that how much plumbing is going to have to get done. Like we have to redo all this plumbing. We've worked in all these houses before.
Yeah.
Like there's an understanding of the actual amount of work, whereas the $30,000 guy is just like, oh, bathroom renovation, pull it out, leave all the drywall up, don't touch anything else, it'll be fine. It's, but then as they get into it, oh, I got to upgrade your panel. That's a change order. That's a $10,000 change order.
Right.
I got to redo all the shutoff valves in the basement to feed upstairs. Oh, that's another $10,000 change order.
Right.
So at the end of the job, you're going to be at the same price.
Oh, you also want to understand how they handle change orders up front.
Yep. Yeah, are they going to tell you, or are you just going to get a big bill at the end of the job? So, oh, well, we had to do all this extra work.
Yeah.
Which
happens.
It happens.
It happens. Yeah. And you want, right. So you want to make sure you get everything in writing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we hear is like contractors who can start right away are not good fits because it signals that they don't have work. But that's, I think, subjective, because there's often we can't start right away in most cases, but we have the capacity for more than one project at a time.
Well, for us, it's all like the design. So we don't start right away because it's the design.
Right.
Like if we didn't have any design work to do, we can still run 5 projects at a time. We could probably start within a week.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks, depending on the material when it comes in.
Right. Okay. To wrap up. Final thoughts and wrap up. Are you ready, Michael Francis?
Sure.
Do your research.
Do your research.
Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, even if you feel like it's like too many questions. Just ask whatever questions you have. And it's okay to go back more than once with questions. People do it to us all the time.
Well, we also put it out there to ask questions. Like,
we ask them to ask.
Please feel free to reach out.
Please. We want everybody to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
If in doubt, go with someone who values communication, transparency, and quality over just price. Mm-hmm. If you have the ability to do that.
Yes.
That is, we're aware that that's not feasible for everyone.
Yeah.
And then if you want to talk to us about doing a project,
reach out.
You can reach out to us at francisrenovations.com. And of course, we'd love to talk to you if you're in the Philadelphia area.
This is true.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, Michael Francis. This was fun. As always, this was fun. Go team.
Go team.
And that's a wrap for this episode of From Blueprint to Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and took away some helpful insights for your own home projects. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you have a renovation question or a story to share, I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me at heather@francisrenovations.com, follow along on social media, or reach out at www.francisrenovations.com. And hey, if you're feeling generous, leave a quick rating and review. It helps more homeowners like you find the show. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep dreaming, designing, and building.